Just finished my morning cardio. It's not 5, 6 in the morning. I get there at 5. And didn't want to do it today again. Felt horrible, but I always do the action regardless of my feelings toward it. I went at it. I got to the cardio. First 15 minutes felt unbearable. Last 15, crushed it. Got into flow state and just murdered the workout. And that's how it goes every time. And I'm used to it. Like, I understand I'm going to feel like shit going into the action, but once I dive into the action, I will feel better from it. You feel better from doing the action. And once you really have that self-mastery where you know you need to do it, you can do anything. You have discipline. I apply this everywhere. In my business, I work 12, 14 hours a day. When I started my business, I was working 16 hours a day because it needed more of a push to actually get it moving. I'm going to my dream city tomorrow. I'm flying out in the morning around 8 a.m. to Miami. Got a spot in Brickell, to a hotel in Brickell. And I'm just going to hang out with guys I know there, successful people. Check out, the place I've been envisioning for months and years. But more specifically, for the last few months, I've been really envisioning it. And the last few weeks, I've been going hard at it, really just thinking about it, obsessing over it in my mind, and now it's here. But you have to understand, like, I would never be able to do this, to fly out there, pay for myself, for my little brother to go, have this business I have, if I didn't jump into the action, if I didn't go against my fear of starting the business, of getting my dream body. I had to overcome that. Most people live in fear. I was spending 16, 17, 18, 19 parts of 20 working on a business or other businesses I had that failed. I've had like 5 businesses that failed. I had drop shipping businesses, selling shoes, working 3 jobs, working 2 jobs and having the business, spending the money from the 2 jobs on Facebook ads for my dropshipping business. That was losing all the money. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Even though it was a stupid business, I knew what I wanted and I went after it. I had to fail for years. I didn't make $1 till 20. I started at 16. I spent 4 years hitting my head against the fucking wall. And the thing is, if I didn't go through that, if I didn't suffer for all those years, feeling pressure from people externally, why am I working on this dumb business? Aren't you gonna I dropped out of college. Why would you drop out of college? Go to college, get an education. Everyone's telling me to live a life I didn't want to live. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be in shape. I never listened to those who didn't have the life I want. I wanted to acquire what I admired. The people who were telling me what to do, I didn't admire what they had, so I never listened. I'm so happy. I had the fear. I didn't know if it was going to work. All those businesses I failed, especially when you're a young kid, you have no life experience, you don't have any skills. I didn't have any skills. I didn't know how to do anything. I sat there figuring out websites for my dropshipping business. I sat there figuring out like shit about coding, marketing, copywriting, Facebook ads, all this stuff. I had no idea like anything about it. I had no knowledge on it. I had to figure all of it out and spent a year and a half working on the dropshipping business that completely tanked and failed. Then I worked on copywriting. I would spend the first 4 hours writing, trying to get better at that skill, would go to the gym just to feel better as my break from the mental strain from writing that long. Because as those of you who do actual deep meaningful work, sitting there for 4 hours doing something meaningful and putting all your focus into it is hard. I would go to the gym just to get my mind off of that, just to rest myself mentally and push myself physically. A lot of you guys come home from fucking work, I'm tired. You're mentally tired. You could still move. Physical and mental tiredness aren't the same. You could swap them out. If you're physically tired, you could do something mentally. If you're mentally tired, do something physically. Not the same. And after coming home from the gym, and keep in mind, this was like months and months of me transitioning into doing copywriting. Then I would send out fucking cold emails for 6 to 8 hours a day, just sitting there melting my brain, sending emails, going on YouTube pages, looking at business owners' descriptions, looking for their emails, emailing them, doing research about their business, writing copywriting for their pages and their businesses, and hoping I would get a response. And I did that for 6 months, for 6 to 8 hours a day, every single day. And you know how many people responded to me, who were actually interested in my work? 1. Hundreds of hours for 1 response. And guess what? He was just interested. We didn't even work together. He wasn't that interested. There was slight intrigue. And I did all that for months for nothing. And the dropshipping business for nothing. Meanwhile, I'm getting external pressure from people telling me, what the fuck am I doing? Actually, why am I doing this? Why? I never let fear stop me. I never let doubt stop me. I had the doubt. I had the fear. But I still went after it. I did stop it for a time. There was a period, the most recent, when I stopped doing copywriting. I got a job as a commercial mortgage broker. This was about 2 years ago, when I was almost 20, I believe. So I dropped my entrepreneurial venture and I went in on that. It was kind of like a business. It wasn't really the business. It wasn't really the life I wanted. It was commission, so I guess I had some control over my fate, but I still had a boss. It still wasn't my thing. I still wasn't really feeling like I was helping people. I didn't like the job. I went after that. And months went by, made no sort of money. I closed 1 deal. I made like $2,000 in 10 months. Still was working part-time as an in-person trainer. And then I decided, what the fuck am I doing? And then I started doing coaching. I continuously had the fear and the doubt, but I had to overcome it. I didn't know what I was doing. I spent years failing. But you will never succeed until you fail. And then I started the coaching business, and I went at it for months and months and months, and now it hit. And now I have dozens of clients that I'm changing their lives. We just had our first group call last Saturday. Just bouncing ideas, me being able to teach all the things I've learned, instilling my mindset into them. You're letting fear stop you. And now we fast forward. I have clients I'm helping change their lives. I have my own business. I'm going to my dream city tomorrow to check it out, and I could take my brother with me. I could afford it now. I was broke as a joke a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had to jump into the fear. Fear is like an ocean. It's miles wide. But it's like an ocean that's miles wide, but it's just 1 inch deep. It looks like this scary thing, like you're gonna drown if you step into it. But if you just take that first fucking step, you realize it's not that bad. The coward sits there and looks at it, and he's paralyzed by the fear, by the doubt. He never steps forward. He never moves forward. Stop being the coward. If you're watching this, you have the potential. We're vibing on the same frequency. If you weren't someone who's interested or doesn't find what I say intriguing or inspiring or motivating, you would not be watching this. And if you do find what I say inspiring, educational, helpful at all, that means you're on the same path as me, or you want to be. You want to have an amazing physique. You want to live the life you want to live and not have other people project what they can do onto you. You want to do what you know you can do deep down. But you're letting fear stop you. Fuck your fear. Fuck your fear. You have potential, but you're being limited by it. You have this box. This is you. This is what you're currently capable. This is what you're currently doing in the life you're maximizing. You're in this box. This is the box with all your potential. Fear is keeping you here, but if you just expand the box, you have all this room to grow. You could expand so much more than you are right now. The reason you're stuck is because of fear. You will not go out and go after your dream physique because you think once you tell everyone, I'm going to start this diet, I'm going to start working out, you're going to fail. And then you're going to look like a clown. But you have to look stupid at first, and then you're going to look like a genius when you succeed in the end. People are looking at me right now in my life who used to talk shit on what I was doing. You're going to go to college. You're going to keep doing this forever. Is this really the path you're going to take? When are you going to get a real job? All this shit they were talking, and now that I'm succeeding and doing better than them, now it's different. Now, before I looked like an idiot when I didn't have the result. I was putting in the work, but the work didn't catch up to the result. Now I have the result. Now I look like a genius. You will always look stupid until you don't. You have to fail. You have to jump into the fire. You have to be courageous. You have to be the man that experienced the fear. You experience the same fear the coward does. But you step forward anyway. You move your feet anyway. And I'm going to keep reminding you. My life would be fucked if I didn't jump into the fear. I will move the fucking earth for you. Just to remind you, you could take another step. I'm going to drop the sickest fucking vlog in Miami. I'm so excited to see this city I've been envisioning in my mind for years. I'm so excited. And it's all because I decided to I experienced the fear and still move forward despite it. It's the best thing you'll ever do, and you have to keep on doing it. I'm going to drop the vlog. It's going to be sick. I hope you guys come with me on this journey. We're going to go from this fucking shitty, yellow-walled basement with shit air, with no windows, with mold. I'm going to go from there to living in a Miami apartment with a sick view over the city and just experiencing the absolute life I envisioned. It's going to take some time, but I'm going to document it. It's all going to be on this YouTube. It's going to be on my Instagram. I share the stories every single day. You're going to see it. You're going to come here and you're going to see it. I have no doubt. It's going to get done. That's all for this one, boys.